Hi, how is everybody? Happy middle of the week. Okay, let me say hi to everybody. Wait, okay, my mic is on. Hello to hi Heather, Lynn, Winky, Angie, Martha, Tanja, EM, Elaine, Malang, Multistan 95, Ive, the Bio Explorer, Elizabeth, Juliet, Alejandra, Erica, Marie, Eva, Anne, Leah, Anne, Lindsay, Rabina, Rachel, Joe, Namhar, Elaine, Carmi, HHK, Angel Star, Bangduna, Belinda, Bellatrix. Oh, there's a lot of you. Amy, Janice, hello, Kez, uh, Nunez, I need new glasses. Jin, Nikon Lady. Why is it Nikon Lady? Do you like Nikon, the camera? Michelle, Juan Hotston, Soap, and Lives, Mensha, BTS Paved the Way, Happy Stan, Beth, Robin, Barbara, A Free Soul, Tickle, Shelling, Maruha from Panama, Dawn, the Anime Queen, JR, Madhumati. Oh, wait. Okay. Let me make Ms. Caribbean. Hi. We are 2 days away from Jin's album. Are you excited? We have a moderator. You do. She is still training. So she's sort of just observing. Um, but yeah, we're going to, once she's sort of used to how we do things, she's going to be a more active part in everything. Absolutely happy. I'm so happy to. um I saw the, if for those who of you who bought an album in the US, I think, what's the name, they mixed up, they made an error about the packaging of the photo cards in Jin's album. So Geffen Records, so there's a mix up between whatever, it's not relevant to me, I'm guessing, because I bought all albums. So from all stores. So so happy that Jin will be live tomorrow. I am so happy too, so I will definitely be on. I'm gonna be watching him. Hello, moderator Nim. Geffen keeps on making all of these mistakes. I know, right? Jin is doing a listening party Saturday night on Spotify. Yeah, so everybody, Jin is doing a Spotify listening party. Happy to have you, Rebecca. Rebecca, say hello to everybody. Happy Purple Day. Hello. Okay, so I guess everybody knows this shouldn't surprise us anymore. Jimmy Fallon Wednesday, yes, and of course, please make sure that you stream. Um, and stream on YouTube once it is released, and then start streaming on all your streaming platforms. So I just ask if you guys already have a premium account for streaming, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, you can get a second one. I know that some of you, this is what I realized, and I've been thinking about it, because a lot of people, of course, they have biases, and they don't like diluting their playlists because they want to push their bias. So that's understandable. But then, of course, um, they also want to help in pushing gin. So one of the solutions that you can do, one of the solutions out there for you, is to actually get a second account, a second premium account. There's a lot of funding accounts in Twitter or Facebook or Instagram. And so they offer you like 1 or 2 months of premium streaming service. So just get that. The only thing, so if you haven't experienced that, apparently what they do is that they actually give you the account that you're going to be using, and they monitor that account, and you can't stream anything else. Well, you can stream something else, but only as a filler in between Jin's um songs, because that's what the fund is for. So you have to just respect that. Now some of you may feel like, oh, this is a solo or whatever. um Jin's funds, if you search on Twitter, she is or he is a devoted Jin follower, a Jin bias, but he has never or she has never spoken anything bad about the other members. So if you want to check him out or her out, then do so. So that's what I encourage everybody to do. Yeah, Apple Music offers 1 month free. I think Apple Music also there is 1 month, and then Spotify also has a free 1 month. These are many of these streaming platforms offer 1 month free. There's something that is 60 days, so try to grab those. I'm already streaming on Apple Music and Amazon, and I might get Spotify just for 60 days. Amazon Music has a 3 month one, I think. Oh, it's still on. I thought it expired. So good. If check out Amazon Music if the offer is still on. I bet South Korea are tired of the drama. Koreans are tired of the drama. Anyways, ignore the negative, enjoy the positive. Happy Purple Night Army. I can't wait for Running Wild MV. I need to stream Jin's song more than I have. Yes, we all do. My dream, of course, I never believe that BTS's primary goal is to get in on top of the charts. I think their primary goal is to create music for armies that we will all enjoy. So first, make sure that you enjoy the music. But of course, personally, I do want them to Jin. I want everybody, but because Jin is the one that's releasing music right now, I want him, of course, to get into Billboard Hot 100. I hope that we can make this his highest ranking song thus far. So if we can just stream, let's stream hard. And I think if there's anything that we've learned about Who by now and Seven, is that streaming is the key. We just need to maintain our streams. And I do believe the song is going to be a radio friendly one. And now that Hybe America seems to be a little bit more active, I think they can push the song in radio. I hope that's going to happen. And if that happens, then we just need to do our part in streaming so that we can land him inside Hot 100 and make it his highest ranking song thus far. My hope is that he gets into top 40. Would love for him to get into top 20 and for him to stay there really, really long. Jen is going to be on Jimmy Fallon. Yes, 11/20/24. I believe he has more schedules to come. Let's just wait and see. Okay, and I'm sure that you've heard of it's we know this by now. Road to 1B for our young line, correct? So I'm sure we all expect this by now. I mean, we've been calling this since the beginning that every time there is a major project of BTS, we know that that woman is not too far behind. And so it happened again. Is it better without lights? Is it better without lights? Because there's no flicker, right? Let me know if it's better with lights or better without lights. Better. Okay. Okay, then no light. Okay. So we've been calling this for some time now that whenever there is going to be a major release, there will be something that will come from her camp, Minheejin's camp, to disturb the peace and to take away our attention. And so it happened again. I wasn't really surprised. I was kind of surprised that well, I thought that when she first released the seized her home being seized, and then the the internal document being leaked, I thought that was it. I was like, oh, maybe this is what she was trying to do. So, and then there's something new, and it's the girls that are actually s- presenting their demands to Hybe. So I think this is going to be for sure. This is going to be um, the cadence of what she's going to do. Now, I think it's not just because of Jin, I also think that what J Hope actually did has something to do with this. So, as you know, J Hope went live a night ago, a day ago, and he dropped some hints. He definitely said that he's doing some projects, most likely going to go on a tour with I'm Manifesting. Please join me in manifesting. So, okay. In all seriousness, is there something wrong with MHJ mentally? Of course, there is. There absolutely, there definitely is. Um, a welcome change from the election news. Yes, please, sir. He's going to tour. We're manifesting. So he went live, and in here, he sort of dropped hints that he's doing a project for sure. What else is he going to do in LA, right? So he's doing something. We know that P Dog is actually with him. Son Sun Dok, the original choreographer, now the creative director for Big Hit, is also there with him. Um, Now, this thing that he announced, because he mentioned specifically during the stream, his live stream, that he's going to be in LA, in the US. He didn't say specifically LA, he said US indefinitely. He's going to be there indefinitely. Of course, that made him happy because even if I don't see him every day, just the mere fact that I'm breathing the same air already makes me happy. So, and for him to say that he's going to be here on an extended time, then that makes me happy. But I think that is actually very, for somebody like her, you know who I'm talking about, for Minheejin, this is something that she wouldn't like because she effectively cannot do anything to even get a peek of what J Hope is doing. She would have absolutely no access to any information on what he's doing. Especially if J Hope chooses to fully utilize HYBE America instead of utilizing resources of HYBE Korea. They effectively, nothing can be leaked because everything can stay within within the US, and he can even register the songs in the US in instead of South Korea. So there is a greater chance of secrecy, and so that I feel, I actually posted something on Patreon. I was like, in the middle of the night, I was just like, oh my god, I feel so good that HYBE is here. He's very safe. Whatever he's doing can be kept private. He will not be touched. um, and that is good for me because, well, good for, I mean, in general, for J Hope, also because there, you know what, Min Hee Jin doesn't really have a lot of connections in the US. So there's really not a lot of people that she can tap to try and get information about what J Hope is doing. So that's good. The second thing is that between Scooter, Scooter's connection in the US, he has way more connection in the US than she does. So, in the grand scheme of things, for J Hope's protection, I'm glad that he's actually doing his project in the US. Also, J Hope is starting to venture in the US, I feel like, further making South Korea less important to him as a market outside of his love for his country. I'm sure that he loves his country very, very much. But outside of that, he doesn't really need South Korea if he really goes full blast in his activities in the US and actually decide to make US his headquarters. I'm also glad that J Hope is back with his OG team. We know that P Dog is with him, and most likely Son Son Dok. When J Hope arrived in LA, Son Son Dok was still in New York. But most likely he's already with J Hope by this time. Okay, so the other thing is that we know that J Hope can carry and has a great North American fan base as a solo artist. And so if he can continue tapping on that, and then he has great connections in his own genre, which is hip hop, he has a very good connection with, he has a great friendship with J. Cole, and that could be his gateway to even more collaborations, because that's a good thing if you want to grow as an artist. And that is what we know J Hope to be. He's an artist, so he's doing collaborations not because he wants to hit the charts. He's doing collaborations because that's going to make him grow. And of course to create great music. And so if he can continue just tapping his North American market, working with North American people and utilizing HYBE North America, I think he is going to have a more peaceful process in finishing his project. Pharaoh, Hobie though is up to something with for real. I wonder. Yeah, I know that he kept on mentioning the word for real in his live. Maybe it is a hint. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, for by now we know their caliber and how they actually do things. So yeah, I won't be surprised if it's actually a hint on what he's about to do. So that I think is a problem unconsciously, indirectly, that decision of J Hope to make US his headquarters for his project is going to create some problems for Minheejin in terms of her plans to further rock the boat. So she won't have any access to timetables, to the kind of projects that he's doing. She won't even know when he's going to show up to the studio. So that's a good thing, and I hope that that this is going to provide the other members of BTS some insights on the benefits of actually working outside of South Korea while this entire thing is still going on. um so so I hope that happens. Okay. That mess she does only works in South Korea. Yeah, exactly. If J Hope really just promotes in the US, we're not really gonna care about any of those things. Problems like this in management companies, in labels, it happens every day. I mean, look at Megan Thee Stallion. She was battling her label half the time, but we don't really care about that. We just care about her music. We know about there's so many who have actually battled their management companies, their labels. We don't really pay attention to those. For us, it's like an ordinary problem. For as long as they're delivering their music, that's what we care about. Okay, now after he released his demands, after he did his live and 48 hours before the actual release of Happy, we now know that New Jeans released a press statement stating that they sent a certified letter to Adore with a list of demands. Okay, so that's the list of demands. This is the certified letter. Now, Adore responded and said they haven't received the certified letter, and so they can't really respond without the certified letter on their hands yet. So it is very interesting that it feels like they sort of rushed this because they released it to the media before they actually sat down with Adore. And that is also another sign that they're not really interested in settling this because they're going to the media first. Okay. Now, one of the things, the major thing that they're asking for is that they want to correct all serious violations of the exclusive contract mentioned within 14 days from the date you received the letter. So basically, what they're saying is they want to change the contract that they have with Adore. That's essentially it. So they feel like there are clauses in that contract that they don't want, and they want that changed. So 3 years into their career, they're asking their agency to change the contract. That's the major thing. Okay. And I feel like they're asking for that because they know that for as long as that is in place, then there's not much that they can do. Another demand is that they want HYBE and Adore to issue an apology from the manager who told Hani to ignore them, so or ignore her. So if you would remember, one of the complaints of Hani is that she heard a manager, apparently manager of Isle It, telling Isle It to ignore her. So she wants a formal apology from that person. delete materials such as videos and photos that were exposed without consent. So, as we know, usually in a contract, when they sign a trainee contract with an agency, they're basically allowing the agency to record them, of course, for as long as their body and their personal rights aren't violated. Then those videos may be published for later, depending on the need of the agency. So, but there's demanding that all of those things be deleted. Assess the damage suffered by New Jeans due to album hoarding and come up with solutions. Isn't that great? Okay, so um, they have been complaining about other groups getting a lot of sales. So they're basically accusing other groups, Hybe, of buying albums for other groups, and it's making them suffer. They also have complained about album pushing. So they're saying that the mere fact that such a practice exists in the agents in the industry, and that Hybe is actually pushing for it or using it, they feel like it is damaging their reputation. If I'm sure that you would know by now that the numbers, their sales in the album sales that they have in Japan is less than impressive. And I think that they're sort of blaming Hybe for it. They're saying that they didn't have the same amount of other groups seem like they have more sales because of album pushing that Hybe is doing, and it's damaging the brand of New Jeans. Resolve the dispute with director Shi Wosok and address the issue of existing works disappearing as a result. Okay, so basically, they're demanding. If you would remember, Apple wanted their brand out of one of the music videos, and so Adore asked Shin Woo-sok to remove that because they did it without the consent of Apple, and so they deleted. Shin Woo-sok deleted it, but now they're saying that it is actually Adore who wanted that deleted, and it's not really Apple. So they want that music video director's cut back into YouTube. Preserve New Jeans' unique style and works. This is very vague. Number one, their style is not unique. So maybe preserve New Jeans' style and works. It has been preserved. It is being preserved. In fact, they haven't really done anything else outside of their style. So maybe they should kind of change their style a little bit. And as a final demand, and I think this is the bottom line of it all, is that they requested the reinstatement of former Adore CEO Min Heejin. And as we know, at this stage, the court has already confirmed that Hybe or Adore does not have the obligation to actually reinstate Min Heejin, and they have no power to ask Adore or Hybe to reinstate Min Heejin. So okay, those are their demands. Um, Now, as I've mentioned in the beginning, this entire thing is a calculated move. The mere fact that they're using the internal document as a basis for in proving that Hive actually violated their obligation to New Jeans. So they're using that. Now, it is very calculated because they've had that document for a while. Min Heejin has had that document since April, and they could have just released that document back in April or May or June. The mere fact that they waited until now shows you that there is something that they are planning. And as I've said, the cadence is very much consistent. Whenever there's a major release or a major project, she comes up with something. So now the question is, how do we get out of this? Because we seem to be, armies specifically, we seem to be very reactive in what they're doing, in what she is doing. And so, what do we need to do to finally stop this? Okay. And ignoring things is not enough. All right, now let's try to understand how our actions are actually helping her and what she's trying to do. Okay, let's pull back a little bit. Remember that social media's only objective is to keep you in their platform, be it Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, whatever that may be, or TikTok. The only thing that they really want from you is your time. So they want your engagement, they want your time. That means they will give you whatever will make you stay in their site and whatever will make you interact with the content on their site. Always remember that. So, how do they know what it is to give you to keep you in their site? So, any like, comment, share, or subscription, any retweet, any response, anything that you do, even if you pause on a certain content, if you're scrolling, that gives them a signal that that piece of content is relevant to you or you like seeing those content. It doesn't matter whether it gives you anxiety, it makes you angry, it makes you happy, it scares you. It doesn't matter to them what kind of emotion you feel. For as long as that piece of content makes you stay in their platform and make you engage, they will continue giving that to you. Always remember that. Their goal is to make you stay. They will push content to you that will make you interact or stay good, bad, ugly, infuriating, triggering. It doesn't matter. And each time you interact sends a message to the platform that you like the content, even if you don't like it. Right? So there are pieces of content that you come across with, you pause, you watch, and you're like, why the hell am I getting this? That for them, even if you don't like it, but because you interacted with it, for the social media platforms, it actually means that you like the content. So they will keep on pushing that to you. So now the question is, but what do they consider to be interaction? Click, like, subscribe, watch, click, like, subscribe, watch, read. And even if you slightly pause on a content, if you're scrolling and you pause, that is interaction. Or if you simply allow a content to stay on your feed, that is interaction. Meaning, even if you're just scrolling and you're not actually doing anything, you're just scrolling, you look at it, you didn't do anything, you didn't pause, that is still interaction. In other words, when it comes to social media, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, whatever those may be, doing nothing is actually doing something because it sends a signal to the platform that you're okay with that content. And so they will keep on pushing that content to you. Now, there are certain things that you can do. You can dislike if the button still exists, you can mute, or you can block. Those things are the best ways for you to stop them from appearing on your feed. So now let's actually compute how much you contribute for responding or interacting with a post. Remember, interaction doesn't necessarily mean doing anything. Even if you just ignore what it is that they are feeding you or putting on your feed, that already means that you like the content. Okay, so there are certain ways, different ways on how we measure the value of a content or the value of your interaction. Cost per impression, cost per click, um, a comment or a share and a reply. Impression is just when you see it. Okay, even if you don't notice it, for as long as it stays on your feed, that's an impression. Okay, and that gets paid. Cost per click, or that has value. Cost per click is if you do anything. So if you click on it because you like it, if you click on the photo and you enlarge it, that's actually a click. If you comment and you reply or you share, that is interaction. Again, you don't have to click. So CPM, that is the cost or the amount an advertiser pays on a website per 1,000 visitors who see their in advertisements. So if you post something or somebody posts something, right? In Twitter, for example, you will see how many interaction they have, how many impressions. That actually gets paid if you're an advertiser or if you're promoting something that actually has a cost. So every 1,000 that has an equivalent amount. How much will an advertiser pay? CPM. That depends on the industry. This is a standard payment. So for example, in YouTube, an average CPM for music related content on YouTube is around 1.36. Okay, this is on the lower end because I'm trying to be I try to be on the low end, so I'm not bloating my figure. So every 1,000 views, they pay about $1.36. Okay. For gaming, $4.55, education $9.09, 09 cents. And then people and blogs, it's about $6.36 per 1,000. Entertainment is about $1.82. So you're going to tell me, okay, so that's not too bad. That means whenever there's something on your feed, this is you talking. Oh, this is not too bad. Whenever there's something on my feed, because it is music related, it's about 0.00136. Okay. But that actually adds up. Okay, let's get to that. We'll go back to that later. The average CPM on Twitter, that's for YouTube. On Twitter, the average CPM for music related content could be around $8. So you pay $8 per 1,000 impressions. Entertainment, pets and animals, about $10 per impression. Now, remember, this computation is for paid advertising. Organic, of course, is more valuable. So if we're going to put a monetary value on organic engagement, that's more expensive. And that is what you give, right? You are organically interacting with posts because they don't pay for you to see their posts. So, how many, for us to have some sort of an idea on how much you or us are contributing to the popularity or the career or the costs of Minheejin and other people like her, we need to have a general idea how many posts like this you actually see in a day or in a month. So think about it. Each time you go to YouTube, TikTok, websites, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, how many posts do you actually see? How many posts like this or related to this do you actually see? It doesn't matter even if it is a reply, that is considered one post. Do you see 30 in a day, 300, 3,000? You're going to be surprised. There has been no formal accepted study on how many posts a person see in a day. There is no formal thing. But marketers' accepted estimate is about 200,000 tweets in a month. So if you're an average user spending about 30 minutes on Twitter on your phone on a daily basis, that translates to about 200,000 posts. Imagine that. You're seeing 200,000 posts in a day, in a month. Okay, so let's just assume that of the 200,000, only 10% is connected to this issue. So if the CPM is 0.001, that means you, if you're just doing nothing and you're just scrolling through it and you saw it and you didn't do anything, contributed $20 easy just by doing nothing. By doing nothing, you contributed $20 to them. So that doing nothing tells the algorithm the content is relevant. So they'll keep on pushing that content. So if we assume organic engagement is more valuable, remember I was computing that based on paid advertising or paid content. If we say that organic engagement is actually more valuable, we can multiply it by 10. It's usually multiplied by 100. But again, I'm trying to compute everything on the low end. So your $20 times 10 is actually $200. So you just contributed $200 to the marketing or publicity or viral marketing of Minheejin if you do nothing about the posts that are related to that issue. $200. You can contribute that to BTS. Okay. The other thing is that your inaction, by doing nothing, your inaction actually could lead to someone else seeing the post who also shared it and so on, right? Remember what I said in the beginning. When you do nothing, that is doing something. You're telling the algorithm to just let it flow. So they'll keep on pushing that. And because there's more of that post, then there is a great chance that others will see it because you allowed it, right? It's because of your part of it. So if they post it, if they repost it, they share it, they comment on that, then the cost actually goes up. Compounded, the cost actually compounds. And it all started all because you didn't do anything. Now, how do we actually compute the cost? Because remember, it is now the algorithm. By doing nothing, you're allowing the algorithm to push that content, right? And that is not a cheap thing to do because it's not easy to manipulate the algorithm of social media like Twitter or YouTube or Facebook or TikTok. It takes a lot of money. If I'm a paid advertiser, I'm going to have to pay thousands of dollars just to make their algorithm push my content. And that's what I'm going to do to compute how much you contributed to the campaign or the career of other people by doing nothing. So in an entertainment campaign, for example, if I'm pushing for an album or I'm just pushing an artist, I would most likely spend about $100 a day, so that you will click on an artist's song or read the artist profile. So that's about $3,000 a month, just to get the algorithm of that specific platform to push the artist that I want to promote. Because you're doing it organically, that means that 3,000 is coming from you. Organic. I hope I'm making sense. If I'm not making sense, let me know. There are components that have, again, there are more components that have really no monetary value because they are so hard to compute, but they are more valuable. Okay, so for example, reply and comment is actually more valuable. So if the cost of an impression is when you see it, if a cost of an impression is just $0.001 per impression, then you can multiply that by 100 or 1,000, because even this is the algorithm of Twitter. You can see that they actually put more weight on replies. So if you replied, that is actually more expensive. So the monetary value of replying is actually higher. So how do I compute the cost of a reply or a quote retweet? This is an example of an actual tweet. One second. Okay. So sorry, my dog is actually barking. That's why I'm muting. One second. Okay. Sorry, my dog is barking because there's somebody at the door. All right. So this is an actual tweet. That is, I covered the source of the tweet so that I don't want people to actually go to her tweet or to her profile, because I don't want to advertise her. I don't want to push this content even more. But okay, so this specific tweet has 220,000 impressions. You can see that here. It has 220,000 impressions. It has 2,400 QRTs, and it has 276 replies. So for me to compute how much this tweet costs, the monetary value of this tweet, I will divide the 220,000 impressions by 1,000. So that's about 220. And I will multiply it to $1.82. And that's going to cost, it's going to go up to about $440. Okay. So that is just computing the impression. My dog is doing his job. Yeah. Okay. So now, for me to compute the monetary value of a retweet, a reply, or a QRT, I like, this is my own formula, and this is by no means the industry standard, but this is just for me to estimate how successful in monetary value, how successful a tweet is. So I usually assign a value on each of that. An impression is just about 5 cents for me, but a retweet is 25 cents, a reply is 25 cents, but the most valuable is a quote retweet, a QRT. I assign 45 cents to that. All in all, this is $1. Okay. So if I have a campaign, this is the cost per dollar. This is the cost of each action per dollar. This is not scientific, but this is just my way of computing it. So then the impression is $440. The reply is about 2,200, 2,200, and the retweet is 2,200, and the QRT is 3,960. So all in all, this one tweet, for me to actually organically have this kind of success, it's about 8,800. 8,800. That's how much this tweet is. So always remember, so always remember that your interaction is valuable. It's not just you allowing things to happen. Doing nothing is valuable. You have a value when you're online. So don't allow anybody to just get on your timeline. Okay. And then there are other costs that may never be computed. For example, someone screenshots your post or your reply and then use it as a tweet. That has a bigger value, but then we will never be able to track it because it was a screenshot rather than a retweet. If a gossip magazine like Korea Boo picks up your tweet or picks up a social media post that you commented in and it generates traditional media buzz, that's even more expensive. So always remember that. Don't just allow anybody on your timeline. Curate it. Now, what can we do? We know and we have already talked about how we should actually ignore the noise and concentrate on just supporting our favorite artists. But that is not enough, actually. It is not enough to ignore because, as we've mentioned earlier, doing nothing is doing something. You need to report and block. Okay? So when you see something, don't let it there. Don't just leave it there. Don't just skip it. Report, block. Okay. The other thing is that you do need to make up for all of those posts, not just on not just on Twitter, not just on YouTube. You need to make up for it. So whenever you see, my ratio is 5:1. So for example, I see one negative tweet about um, BTS, for example, I will post or retweet or like a positive tweet 5 times. So I will support 5 positive tweets or positive posts or positive videos. That's how I make up for it. So just leaving it there is not enough. You need to actually make up for it by doing 5 times, 5 goods for every one bad. Okay. Next, don't mention their names or their brand. Stop now. Now I have learned this as well. So I'm going to stop hashtagging them or mentioning them. Just use codes, but don't mention them anymore. Because when it comes to the computation of brand reputation and brand power, it doesn't actually matter whether it is a negative or a positive post, for as long as they are mentioned, that adds to their reputation, the brand reputation and the brand recognition. So whenever brands look and review at their reputation, they're going to think that this is a powerful brand, this is a powerful group, and so I'm going to get them. They don't really look at whether it is negative or positive. Um, mention the last line that I wasn't able to change, but mention the brand or the names of your favorite group. That's what you need to mention. We're actually doing the opposite. I see a lot of people tweeting and using 875 to stand for BTS. It's the opposite. You should mention BTS and not mention them. So what we're actually doing is giving the other person, the other group, the brand power and taking it away from BTS because we don't want to mention them. It's the absolute negative. It's the opposite. We should not be doing that. And the most important thing, we need to help them succeed because success is the best revenge. So, in this next release of Jin, we need to actually go full force. We need to make sure that we stream and we stream premium. We need to buy and we need to keep on mentioning him, not mention the other side, report and block all accounts that you will encounter, And it's all also going to help you maintain your sanity, because once the algorithm realizes that you don't like this kind of content, they won't push it to you anymore. I used to love reading Korea Boo, but I stopped reading their stuff a good while ago because they don't verify anything. Don't mention the group's name and the woman, just BTS. Correct. Right now, it's just we're doing the opposite. We're mentioning the other person, her name and their and her group's name, and then we're not mentioning BTS. We're using 875. We're mentioning other. We're using other brand names. So it's just I don't get negative BTS info on Twitter, but I think that I'm getting off of it too soon. That, yeah, I mean, if you don't like the social media platform, there is absolutely no reason for you to stay. So what can we call NJs now that not that I ever do? I just call them the five girls. And then when I want to talk about Le Seraphim, I just call them the Seraphim or I'll It. So I just call the NJ five girls. And then Minheejin, I just call her or the woman or something like that. Oh, for some reason people get it. So is this letter to be taken seriously by Hybe and Adore? Um it is. So there is a procedure when you want to nullify a contract. If you're trying to settle a dispute, each party will actually have to show that they are making enough efforts to try and resolve the matter. And so writing a letter is actually a legal step towards resolving a dispute. So Hybe or Adore cannot ignore it, because then if they go to the court is going to say, they made an effort, you didn't. So the answer to the question is that if the letter actually arrives, it is certified and it is signed, then they do need to respond and they need to provide or show that they made reasonable effort to actually try and resolve the dispute with New Jeans. Otherwise, the court is going to say, you didn't make any effort. So I always censor their names. I call them Pants, MHJ, or Pants Mom. Pants Mom is actually good, but then we can't use the same term continuously, because then the algorithm is going to realize that that word is associated to that group. So I'll give you an example of one of the clients that we had before. Um, how am I going to? I need to send. So there is a celebrity that we were working with, and this celebrity is kind of controversial. But the way that that celebrity is controversial has nothing to do with their brand. Okay, so we started a campaign, and we got blocked and banned by Google, primarily because we were using the name of the celebrity, even though our product has nothing to do with that celebrity. It's just that apparently that name of the celebrity has been associated to something, which caused our brand to be blocked. So we can't be constant as well. We need to change the nickname that we use constantly. Nice bangs, thank you. It's actually I have to stop cutting my own bangs because it's obviously horrible. Okay. Um Living sweetly. So Vivian Chen, I don't read Mandarin. I can't. This is why Hybe let MHJ stay in Adore. They can say we tried to work with her, she refused. Yeah. Yeah, so definitely we there is this is definitely them making her stay is a way for them to control her, a way to prove to the court that they are trying to resolve the matter. Them offering her to continue producing for New Jeans is the same thing. It's to control her and also make sure that they can tell the court that they're trying to work it out. But also, it is doing its primary purpose, and that is to show that she really has a different agenda. If all she wanted is to make sure that New Jeans fulfills their potential and gets to their end game, then she will just continue producing for New Jeans. But the mere fact that they, even though they are being offered that she is going to produce, they still continue to demand that she be returned as a CEO. That shows you that her end game is different from what she's actually saying. I am so glad that you're explaining all this about the platforms. I'm fairly new, Army, and I don't know. I hope I was clear. Was that helpful with the way that I laid it out? Was that helpful? Was that, at least, at the very least, did it give you an idea how valuable your attention is when you are online? Okay, thank you. I was like struggling on how to actually explain it. No bank. Yeah. So the hardest part about all these things, doing social media campaigns, trying to explain the value of someone's attention, and even your phone, this is a prime real estate. Remember that anything that you put in here, this is basically an extension of your home. So don't just download things. Make sure that whatever it is that you're download, you actually need that app, because anything, even though they're saying that they're not listening to you or that they don't know your activities, they actually do, even if you tell them not to follow you. So make sure, always remember, your attention, your click, your space, all of that, all of those are very, very valuable. So if you don't want something, don't just ignore, report, block, or in terms of app, don't even download that, delete that thing if you ever accidentally download it. Attention is currency, correct, and it is one of the most valuable currency in the world. What we search to, yes, what you search, that they know that. So I worked with several AI companies even before AI became very, very popular. And as it seems that, like, chat gpt is such a new technology, it's not. It has been around for a while. It's just that now it's starting to be used by retail or by the consumers. Like 10 years ago, those were being used, AI, those that was being used by businesses. And so you wouldn't believe the amount of things that this the app on your phone can actually see and know about you. So be very, very careful. Be very careful. You wouldn't believe it. This is so invasive, I tell you. So I can't even. So when you sleep at night, make sure that army fighting, ignore all the drama and focus on Jen. Yeah, so we have a lot of things to focus on. We have Jen, of course. We have V and Bing Crosby for his. This is a tall order for V because we're going up against Mariah Carey. How are we going to do that? But we're going to try, right? We're going to try. We need to fight for V. So imagine we have Jin, we have V. Of course, we still have Who inside Billboard Hot 100. My wish for Who is for it to stay for another 5 weeks. We can do that. Let's go. And then my hope for Running Wild is for it to go inside the top 40. Okay, top 50 of Billboard Hot 100, but hopefully top 40. If it's top 20, I'm going to do a cartwheel, even though I don't know how to. And I hope that V actually has a neck and neck fight with Mariah Carey in Christmas. That's my dream. I say Mariah is up against V this year. That is true. Okay, I will change my phrasing. Carey is actually in for the fight of her life because she is going against V. So, should we turn our cell phones completely off at night? Um, Whenever, let me put it this way, it can hear you. It can hear you. Even if they say that they don't hear you. And there's, at this stage, there's not much that we can do about it because everything is so integrated with our phones, right? I mean, I can't even open doors without my phone. Imagine that. Like the door, like actual doors. I actually need my phone to open doors. So um, it can hear, limit the things that your phone invades your life. That would be my advice. If you can do it, do it. Now, the other thing, I'm not like, I'm an adapter, an early adapter. So um, I, I'm not going to be a hypocrite and tell you guys to shy away from technology. I'm not doing it, so I'm not going to encourage you from doing that. I'm just saying be reasonable in your use of your phone. If you're having dinner with your family, put it away, or your friends, just put it away. You don't need it. Look at the person that you're having dinner with or having lunch with. If you're reading a book, put it away at night. Have a cutoff, right? Have a cutoff. Like, okay, 7 o'clock. I'm just not going to. It's just going to be emergency calls. 7 o'clock until I wake up the next morning. Just spend time with your family. So be reasonable, because that's really the only thing that you can do at this stage. Google and everything is always, yeah, they're always listening. I'm sick of Mariah Carey's Christmas song. Apps limit, yes, apps limit. So I'm very careful now on what I actually, one of the most invasive actually is Facebook, really. Is the camera on 24/7. um, if you have a camera on your computer, make sure that it has a physical cover. You can actually physically cover it. I hardly use my phone at home. That is good. That is the best thing. Usually when I'm with my friends, if it's like dinner, lunch, or having coffee, I just make it a point to put it away. I don't care if my friend has their phone on the table, but for me, I just put it away. I'm spending time with my friends, so you know, I just, or family members. So they are more brands. There are more brands in hand on GBA, and that's why they are confident that they won't lose anything after leaving Hybe. Um, do you want them to leave? Desktop computers are actually safer than phones these days. Websites can't force the mic or camera to turn on. You're on your phone. This airplane mode help. No. Now we reach the climax of this drama. If they go down this path, who will have high chance of winning? Can you elaborate your point of view on this case? Who's going to win? Who has a higher chance of winning? Well, that really depends on how you define win. Okay, I will just put my who has a higher chances of winning. Hybe has a higher chance of winning. They're eager to put minheejin back as a CEO. That is the whole thing that they're after. And the mere fact that the court already said they cannot force a door or the board of directors to reappoint minheejin as a CEO sort of closes the doors for them. The only other victory that minheejin can now get is if her 80 million will be reinstated. But in terms of bringing her back as a CEO, that's all gone. So if that is their main objective, then they're not going to win anymore, because there's no way in hell that Hybe is going to bring her back, or Adore is going to bring her back as a CEO. If Min Hee-jin's goal is to destroy Hybe in general, all the other groups, including BTS, that's not going to happen. Um, a lot of all the groups that she has tried to target, I'll It, Le Seraphim, and Hypen or TXT, and BTS, they're all thriving. Uh, Le Seraphim just had a performance at the EMA. they're getting good reviews, and I think this is a start of Source Music pushing Le Sserafim in the Western market. I'll It bested their initial album release with very little promotions. So I think at this stage, it is very clear that she can't bring those groups down. She definitely can't bring BTS down. So that's a loss for her. The only thing that she can do, so she can be brought back as a CEO. She can't destroy the groups. She can definitely not destroy BTS. The only thing left for her will be her 80 million or 75 million, depending on what conversion that they are using. Um, that is essentially it, because I honestly believe that New Jeans is incidental for her, meaning she's not as concerned as she makes it appear to be. She wants New Jeans because it's her ticket out of this entire trouble. If for as long as New Jeans is on her side, she has a fighting chance. But the minute New Jeans loses their leverage, or I don't know, one of the members flips or something, then she loses her leverage. So I don't really would consider it a victory for her if HYBE actually hands her New Jeans. Like if HYBE says, "Okay, here's New Jeans, go 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 go," that won't be a victory for her, because that's not really what she wants. What she wants is the money. Um, so really, that's the only piece that she can win. All others, HYBE already won, right? So just think about that. She can't bring all those groups down. She can destroy them. The more she tries to destroy them, the more successful they become. She can be brought back as a CEO. No one is going to want to work with her unless they want something else from her. She doesn't really want New Jeans, but she's stuck with them because she's the only pawn that she has right now. So yeah, unless she gets that 80 million, she loses. She also wants the recognition of being the creator. She also wants that recognition, but I think at this stage, I feel like everybody knows it's BS. Don't you think? At this stage, people know that this is just, she's talking BS. Um, New Jeans has not evolved. This is not on New Jeans, by the way. Okay, she has made it plenty clear that the creative direction of New Jeans is all hers. She made it plenty clear that the success of New Jeans is all hers. It's all because of her. The music, the styling is all her. It came from her. So this has not, I'm not saying that this is New Jeans' fault. But if you look at it, they haven't evolved. They haven't changed their style. They haven't done anything that would, I mean, they don't need to change their type of music, but they do need to evolve, right? One clear example would be BTS. They have evolved, okay? But Nujins has not done that. So I think at this stage, it's out already. Like everyone knows that, nah, this is just all BS. She lost 75 million from her shareholders contract. Still, that's the one that she filed an injunction for that. So no, not sorry, not her. So hi, when they terminated the contract of the shareholders agreement, they actually filed a case on a court order. They requested for a court order to confirm that their termination is actually valid. So I think what they want to do is just make sure that it is airtight so that they can't bring it back anymore. So she still has a chance in that the decision hasn't been granted. So I'm surprised. She claimed that, okay, is all about the money for MHJ, all about the money and power. They might know more than they are letting off. You never know. Beth. So soft soap said that Beth, they might know more than they are letting off. You ever know. You never know. They're letting off. You never know. Question: how much attention do you think that the West is giving this drama? I can't imagine the Western industry would want to deal with this kind of craziness. Not much. I mean, the US is very, very busy with the election. So we don't really have time for anything else. Every day there's a new cabinet member that's being appointed. There's a lot of things, bigger things that we are busy with that we don't really care about this. It's just, let me put it this way: whenever it hits the Western media publications, it's actually in the entertainment section, not in the business section or anything. And almost nobody picks it up. It would be picked up by Billboard. It's going to be reprinted by Yahoo, but not. It's not a big story. It's just like another corporate drama, and we have a lot of that already. MHJ and New Jeans have destroyed their brand all on their own. Losing endorsements and fans is all on them. Only avid fans. South Korea is a small country and K-pop is small part of South Korea. This stuff isn't major global news. I tried to find article about this new demand and there's none. Yeah, it doesn't get picked up a lot. This one, that screenshot that I showed was actually forwarded to me by several. It was forwarded by several armies who constantly send me stuff. So I tried to find. HYBE will never hand over new jeans and set that kind of precedent in the industry. They're not going to do that unless the court orders them to do so. But the court won't do that because they're going to set the precedent. um, so yeah, I mean, they might order the best. I think the worst that can happen is for the court to compel HYBE to sell the contract, but they're gonna have to pay. It's not like HYBE will just the court will just tell HYBE, not just hand over the group to her, no payment. I mean, I guess crazier things have happened, but that is unlikely. Cost that listed company. Okay, so just want to explain this. There is a company where Minheejin was supposed to move to, and apparently this company, one of the board of directors that will be appointed is the uncle of Herin, one of the members of New Jeans. Um, I think I discussed this several live streams ago, but it seems that they paused once it went out that the uncle of one of the members of New Jeans is a member of their board. They actually paused it. So 700 people watching. Hi, 700 people. Jennifer. Okay. So, all right. Before I move on to the next topic, do you have questions about this entire thing? Questions about what you can do, what we need to do when it comes to social media to completely shut them down? Do you have questions about that? Then the snake deny she was going to some company too. She denied it. So she did. She denied it. That so the day after, it is pure speculation, but some are speculating that since HYBE hired an external director and assigned it to Adore, and this external director was involved in corporate investigations and whatever. So apparently, this external director learned about this company that was going to hire Min Hee-jin and will actually be paying for the contract of New Jeans. And so she learned about it, but Min Hee-jin was quick to deny it. So that is speculation. I have no proof that that actually what happened. How long will this go on? um, I'm gonna guess for another year, this drama. If you think about it, if they're giving HYBE 15 days to respond, after that they're going to file a lawsuit. I'm gonna guess that the court and the police will actually drag this because it's going to give them attention. They're going to drag this for as long as possible. So that would at least be 12 months. The only thing that can make this thing faster, um, that could make this thing irrelevant, is when BTS actually start. Well, they when once they get discharged from the military. Once that happens, right around, so we're gonna get excited in January, right? We're all gonna be like, oh my God, this is the year, right? And I think right around March, we're all just going to collectively lose our shit. Just, or you're just not going to pay attention to everything. Like, I think every day, as soon as April hits, we're not going to say anything else. Like, every conversation that we're going to have will just start with BTS or the name of one of the members. So I think that's what's going to happen. You can, I will mark this live stream, and once it actually happens, then I'm just going to screen record that portion and remind everybody that I predicted it. But anyway, I think that's what's going to happen, right? We're just going to collectively start losing our shit right around March, maybe April. And by that time, the international media, fans, Twitter, all social media will just mention BTS, and they will just be talking about BTS. What are they up to? What are they going to do? And knowing BTS, they're just going to go play it crazy, like actually prepare like crazy in the just secretly prepare things and not give us a and not say anything. But because we're such investigators, we're going to pick up clues. So everything up until the end of the year is just them trolling us and us being willing victims. And so I think that's what's going to happen. Um, and we won't even notice this entire thing. It's just like, okay, there was a question. If you ask a question, just ask it again, because I just, what can Army prepare for welcoming back? Any plans, ideas? Uh, any plans or ideas? So I hope, um, there are some groups in Twitter, on Twitter and Facebook, that are planning some stuff, and that includes actions that are more directly connected to their music, like making sure that we get to 2 billion on some of their songs just in time for their return, so that when they return, there's like, oh, their song hit 2 billion and all of those things. There are some groups that are actually planning to go to Korea when the four members get discharged, and then do the coverage, so allowing us to actually watch something that won't be that is not, without giving hits or clicks or watch time to media in South Korea that we don't like. So far, those are the things that I know of, so I'm just going to relay it as I get more information. I'm paying more attention to Jin than MHJ. That is good. Do you think that group will actually go forward with the contract termination without the 17 million? I think they will. And then they're going to just hope that they are going to get the 17 million. Could it be that, okay, let's see. Could it be that they have pay less to go out of their contract because they have the worst prognosis for the future? No, no, the court doesn't do it that way, because you're less popular. No, the contract has a cost. So, do you think HYBE went to Los Angeles to recharge his batteries and avoid conflict between HYBE and minheejin as much as possible? He said he was enjoying the weather too. I think his primary reason for going here is to challenge himself creatively. I think if there's anything that he realized in his last comeback, is that there he can carry a stage all on his own. I mean, look at Lollapalooza. 105,000 went to watch him. That is bigger than any single performance of any Korean act. Do you realize that? 105,000 all on his own. So I think that sort of gave him an idea on the potential that he has in the international stage. And I think he's really here to challenge himself. I mean, in South Korea, what else can you do? What else can he do? It's such a small country with such a small entertainment industry compared to the West. So I think he's starting to spread his wings, also starting to prepare for his future, because they're not going to be active, like this active as seven forever, right? At some point, my guess is that they're going to do this comeback, they're going to tour, and then they're going to go off and do their solo careers again before coming back again together. So, and in those solo career, he needs to expand and also think of his future. What is going to be his career beyond once they are not as active anymore? That's just my speculation. I don't know if I'm right. Will the five girls actually go through with their contract termination? Okay. Um, any other question before I go to my next topic? He'll be probably trying to improve his English too. Yeah, he's actually good. I mean, he has a very thick accent when he's speaking English, but he can definitely understand what others are saying, and you will be able to understand what he's saying. So he's loving his life, definitely. The girl that's always complaining about being ignored was never an unpopular girl in school. If I was never a nerdy judge, I'd be like, girl, you don't know being ignored. Oh, okay. The way people are acting as if contract termination is finalized within a month, if I it could go on for so long. Good luck with that. That's another strategy. They can just drag it for as long as they can. Then nothing's going to happen. Ready for the next topic. Okay. So this just a warning. So if you are a member of my Patreon, um I do give out books. If you're a platinum member, you get one book a month, and then if you're a diamond member or a legacy member, then you get two books a month. So the book that I gave away this month is titled "The Subtle Art of Not Giving a So, um, there's this. I'm just going to share book. Yes, book. Yes, I give out books. So good night, everybody. Good night, Beth. So I do give out books. So this just want to share something. So this is the title of the book. It's actually it this and the book that was read by Suga and RM. The title is The Courage to Be Disliked. They have a lot of common messages in them. It's yeah, very interesting book. So they have very common. There are a lot of common points in there. There's this one chapter. I think it's chapter 3, and the title of the chapter is "You're Not Special." So just a warning. It can be triggering if you believe in um, like a lot of things profess about everybody being very very special, being unique, that just being alive actually gives you rights over certain things. This book goes against that. um it is not, I don't know what's the word to use that is not triggering. It's not very, it does not believe in entitlement. I guess that's it. It does not believe that just because you are alive, it does not believe that you are entitled to anything. So just like everybody else, you're just gonna have it is Bellatrix, it is anti-woke. I guess that's the word that I was looking for. So it can be triggering. So that now that this specific chapter especially, it is not politically correct, not sugar coated, right? And this specific chapter, the title is "You're Not Special," especially triggering for a lot of people because it kind of grounds you and takes away a lot of the things that um, things on social media keep on telling you, that you're special, that you're unique, that you can be very, very successful, that you're the best, that you deserve the beauty of life, and all of those things. This book and this chapter specifically says, nah, nah, you're not special. And so it says, we're not all, this is an exact quote, we're not all exceptional. It turns out that merely feeling good about yourself doesn't really mean anything unless you're actually good at something. So we're often told, especially on social media, right? There's a lot of memes about you being special, that you need to recognize your light, that you are the best, that you are special, and that you're worth this, and that everything else, if they don't give you what you want, if you don't get treated the way that you want, they're not worth it. So just move on. You're the queen, things like that. And the books actually says that the jury is out, and according to the jury, no, that you, just because you are alive doesn't mean that you're special. In fact, you're very, very ordinary. It even goes on to say that even your pain and your failure are actually necessary and very useful, and your personal problems and your trauma aren't personal and they're not unique. And this is really an important part, because most of the time, if you go through certain trauma, if you go through certain difficult experiences, the one thing we don't want to hear is that, yeah, everybody else is going through the same thing, right? Because we want validation. We want people to say, yes, I understand your pain, or yes, you're painful, oh, you're poor you, or whatever. We want to be validated in our pain. And this thing is saying that no, whatever horrible experience you have gone through has actually been experienced by thousands, if not millions of others. So no, you're not unique and you're not special in the good things about yourself. And no, you're not special and not unique in the bad things about yourself, not even your experiences. So it's essentially saying, get off your ass. Like, you don't deserve any special attention, even if it's really, really painful, because there's a lot of other people who went through the same thing. And because of that, it's essentially saying that self-esteem, self-confidence should not be measured about how good by measuring how good you feel about the good things about yourself. It's actually good quality. It should be self-esteem should be measured by how you feel and what you do about the bad things about yourself. So if you can actually accept your bad things, your bad characteristics, if the bad habits or the bad things about yourself, and you actually do something about it, that is how you measure confidence, not by recognizing the good things about yourself. The problem, however, especially in the pervasiveness of technology and of mass marketing, is that we're expected and we're constantly being told that we are all exceptional, um, and that there is a life, a special life that's just waiting for our taking. And so we feel like if we're not drinking coffee on a mountain somewhere with a sunrise or the sunset behind us with full makeup, looking gorgeous, that we're not actually that we're not happy, that we're not actually succeeding. Good night, Bang Luna. Thank you for staying up. So um it's I have heard so many people. I hire people, and there have been so many people um who have actually quit their jobs. And the reason is that they actually, this is not the right job for me, because this does not allow me to make an impact. Like answering the phones will not make allow me to make an impact. And they believe that they are special, and they are meant for great things. um, the truth is that the ticket to an emotional health, the ticket to actual peace and actual happiness, so occasional happiness, is when you comes with, this is just a metaphor, but it comes from eating your veggies. That is accepting the bland and the mundane fruits of life. And one of those truths is that your action actually don't matter that much in the grand scheme of things, that you don't matter as much in the grand scheme of things, that even if you disappear tomorrow, life is going to go on, that the sun is going to set, the sun is going to rise, people are going to live their lives. So no matter how special you are, no matter how popular you are, or no matter how special you believe yourself to be, life is just going to go on. But once you ingest it, once your body actually start processing the veggies, you're going to wake up feeling more potent and more alive, because all the pressure of being special and unique will actually leave your body. um, so that, I think, is a strong message. It's not a very popular one. Again, because always made to believe that we are special, that we can make an impact. And this book is actually just making us realize that no, you're not special. That you can be special in the um, you can be special by loving the people that you're close with, by loving your relatives and your friends, but don't be too ambitious to try and change the world, because you can't. So if you just stay within your community, try to make an impact and try to change your community, then that will be your impact. So if you are so drop the entitlement. You, as the book says, just because you went through a traumatic experience, yes, the trauma is real, and yes, it is painful, but it is not unique. So other people have gone through it, and if and a lot of and people will continue going through it. So don't use your whatever, your painful experience or your painful past to get a pass on things. So if you're a member of my Patreon, I do give out books. So usually I do a cadence where it is fiction, and then some interesting books like this, historical, and then fiction again. So for the next one, I'm going to be giving out, I think it's The Courage to Be Disliked. That's the next book that I'm giving out. Platinum, Diamond, and Legacy will get that. And then the next book will just be Legacy and Diamond. Jin sang it best. I may be a bit blunt. I may lack some things. I may not have shy glow around me. But this is me, my arms, my legs, my heart, and my soul. My girl group must read this book to let them see the light. Be safe, everyone. Gotta hustle. Bye, BTS Forever 7. Okay, so I hope that book helped. Uh, so I hope that you be a member of my Patreon community. As I've said, it's we all love different things there, so it's not necessarily just BTS. And the most important thing is that if you have unpopular opinion that you can share anywhere else, you can share it there, because we're pretty open-minded. For as long as you say it respectfully and without malice, you're safe. And I think in my last live, I actually differentiated how a statement is hate and how it is constructive, right? So for as long as you're not starting off trying to piss off people and you're just trying to express what you're saying, don't use words that are just hateful. Be objective, then you should be okay, even if the opinion is very unpopular. Does Patreon membership work in India? I think so. Yeah, it works everywhere. Yeah, I mean, except for certain, obvious countries, it kind of works everywhere. That sounds a bit. Sorry, it just went up. I can't read it. As a Gen Xer, this is how I was raised, and I think that has helped me get through some really tough times. Yeah, I guess that's also part of the reason I have never gotten into. I understand a lot of the like new things on social media about you being special and whatever, but I have also never gotten fully on board with that, because I have always believed that your if we can just take care of like our immediate community, if each of us will actually do that, then there will be no global problem, right? Because we're taking care of each other's community, or there will be less of it at the very least. So I'm like, whenever someone says that, like, oh, I want to make an impact, I'm like, I don't know, make an impact to your family, to your friends, to your neighbors, or whatever. How about that? So I also don't understand people that would be so concerned about what's happening in a country halfway across the world. And then there's like so many problems in their own country. I'm like, I don't know, there's so many problems within your community, solve that. How's that? Okay. We are social species. We need social validation. Denying that does not change the truth. You only need to see how social media has damaged our self-esteem. We should work for the for make to make a better society. No, definitely. That's why I said, but it doesn't have to be such a large society, right? You can just do it within your community first. You're making an impact at it. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. We're almost at 1 hour and a half. Is there anything I hope that my presentation on how you compute your value and how you unconsciously contribute to the brand and the campaign and the popularity of that person and the five girls. I hope that it was helpful and that you were able to fully understand how to put a monetary value. I think once you know the monetary value of your action, it becomes easier to process, right? It becomes easier to understand how you can move forward. Um, will the earlier start time for the stream continue in the future? Yes, I think 8:30 is a good time. Because then it will be 11:30 East EST. I don't know if I can make it even earlier at 8. Maybe if I get like a studio closer to where I work, maybe I'll be able to do that. We don't have to choose between family, local, and worldly impact, but we should seek to balance all. Yeah, but I think your priority should always be the one, like the immediate ones. That's just me. I don't know if you know. I don't know if I'm correct. Good morning. I'm scared of my phone now. No. Just balance it. Just balance. There's just nothing you can do. I mean, you need it. I need it. 5:30 p.m. start for me, which is good. My countdown clock is on for tomorrow. Yay, great. I'm the best. I'm in the EST zone and this start time is better. Appreciate you. Thank you. Okay, so this is 8:30 actually better for you guys? Or 8 will even be better? Don't forget Jin on Fallon. Yes, I will. Please don't forget to stream. Don't forget to wait for him on YouTube. Premium stream, please. 8 a.m. will be better. 8 p.m. Sorry, 8 p.m. is better, even better than 8:30. Either works. If you think that, why are you on YouTube? How does this connect to your choices in making this channel? Because Asia is my immediate community, right? That's why it's Asian entertainment and culture. This is my immediate community. Please explain streaming next time. Okay. Yes, EST zone this time is good. I won't lose my shit to do. I can't. 8 p.m. is better. I can't promise. I think I'm going to start losing my shit around April. Like, oh my God. I'm 2 months away, something like that. Don't forget to vote and stream the song. Yes, no, already losing my shit. I went to I had this a friend had an event and I had to go and support her, and there were like plates, and in those plates there were like quotes, and one of the quotes that I really really love is "manifest that shit." It's like I need this because I've been manifesting J-Hope's concert world tour for like 1 year now. Anytime is good for me. My body clock is changeable. This New Year's celebration is going to be crazy. I know, right? Because the book is wrong. Some people are unique and special, like BTS and Fairly. I appreciate that. BTS is always unique. There, of course, there's always an exception, right? But there's another. This is just one section of the book that I discussed. As I've said, if you're a member of my community, you can actually get the book. There's another section about who are the ones that are actually exceptional and how you can be exceptional. You can't be exceptional in everything, but you can be exceptional on some things and what that actually entails. Like, what will it take for you to actually be exceptional that a lot of people aren't willing to do? And that is hard work. Because the truth is that if you do everything else what is doing, you're going to do what everybody else is doing. So if you want to do something special, then you have to make special effort. So that's just one chapter. Can you send a book to the five girls? Of course, I'd be more than happy to, but you know, you have to be open to understand that book. But ever Sugar agree that not everyone can be great and successful. Even Sugar, correct? Yeah, you can't. And it all just depends. Another part of the book is actually how you define success. Like that specific chapter that I talked about is him talking about how people use other people's standard to define what special is. But if you actually talk about what is special in the strictest sense of the word, it's going to make even better sense. Like, for example, I don't know if you know this, but in the Beatles, Ringo Starr, the drummer, wasn't actually the original drummer. Pete Best was the original drummer. So he talked about this story about Pete Best suing Beatles and whatever and blah blah blah. At first, when the Beatles became so big, he was so bitter and everything. But then eventually, he got married, had children, and his perspective of success changed. That when he was eventually interviewed, he said that he felt he was actually more successful than the Beatles because the Beatles were struggling with their personal lives. He was very very happy. So that's just one chapter. So if you actually read the book, there's like he would address many of the concerns that yeah, talking about like, oh, everybody's special and whatever. So I encourage everybody to actually be a member of my Patreon community. Okay, I do think we can be unique. It is um defeatist to think we cannot make an impact in life. Seeking to make changes in your life is impactful. No, exactly, Moshi. It's just, again, this is just one chapter, and he was talking about people making an impact globally. Like you can make an impact globally by loving the people that are around you and being of service to as many people as you can. It's not just all about being the Secretary General of UN or winning 5 rings in the NBA. That's not the only way to be special. Basically, that's just this one chapter. Ringo is the best. He is the best. Me too, losing our shit because of BTS reunion in 2025. We will be busy losing our shit. So I do think April is right around where I lose my shit. I can't promise. Maybe January. Just knowing like, oh my God, this is the year that BTS is going to come back. But yeah. All right. We are past hour and a half. Do you have questions before we go on? We go off for the night. Live an extraordinary, passionate life on your own terms. Excellent life. Thank you. Thank you, Living Sweetly. Good night. I will read it. Yeah, please. I will lose it in May after my birthday. I can't join you in May. I will start April, probably January. Next live stream. Dance party to happy, you guys. Yes, next live stream. Thank you, everybody. Good night. Bye.